इस डायरी का आप सुनते रहिए एफएम गोल्ड।
News Services Division of Akashvani presents Northeast Diary.
Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary, wherein we explore the latest developments for the northeast part of India. But before that, let me tell you about the excitement happening here in Delhi. One day left for the grand opening of the G20 summit in New Delhi. The New Delhi airport, which is India's largest airport, is all set to welcome the guests and delegates of the G20 summit that will see global leaders such as US President Joe Biden, French President Emmanuel Macron, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau joining in. More than 50 VVIP jets will land at the Delhi airport for the summit. New Delhi's crowded streets have been resurfaced. Street lights are illuminating the entire roadsides. City buildings, walls and underpasses are painted with bright murals. Lush green trees and freshly planted flowers seem to bring back spring. In today's episode, we take you on a journey to Sikkim's tourist guide program. We shall be talking about Nagaland's Tele-Mental Health and Neuroscience Cell. We have surprise about the Assam Rifles Training School and the centenary celebration of the Khasi National Dorbar KND, which had laid the seeds for the Hill State movement. Let's take you over to Sikkim. Sikkim's Tourism and Civil Aviation Department conducted the Sikkim Tourist Guide Training Program at the Indian Himalayan Center for Adventure and Ecotourism, Chemche, Namche district earlier this week. The event brought together trainees, instructors, and distinguished guests in a celebration of accomplishments and dedications towards adventure tourism. More from our correspondent, Tashi Ungmu Bhutia, with Saikat Sarkar from Sikkim.
Addressing participants and trainers at the valedictory program, Chief Guest and Sikkim's Tourism and Civil Aviation Minister B.S. Pant applauded the initiative to promote adventure tourism, foster professionalism and nurture talent. Mr. Pant highlighted the rapid growth of tourism in Sikkim and informed that barriers to development can be removed through collective efforts. Mr. Pant also highlighted initiatives such as tourism and travel fairs, emphasizing their role in facilitating international tourism. He recognized the role of instructors, resource persons, and trainees at the training program in shaping the future of tourism in Sikkim, and assured that comprehensive reports on various issues would be presented to the Chief Minister for consideration. Over 350 tour and trekking guides were trained in areas such as camping and field training, search and rescue techniques, medical procedures, and imparted knowledge about Sikkim's adventure tourism destinations. The program also included the release of a theme song aimed at fostering unity and integrity among the guides, introduction of a book titled Birds of Sikkim, a pictorial guide to 100 Birds of Sikkim, and a presentation highlighting the significance of our Indian Himalayan Center for Adventure and Ecotourism. With Saikat Sarkar, this is Tashang Bhutia for Akashvani News, Sikkim.
In a significant step towards bolstering mental health, Nagaland has launched the Tele-Mental Health and Neuroscience Tele-Manas Cell under National Health Mission. It was officially launched at the State Mental Health Institute in Kohima by Mission Director, National Health Mission Nagaland, Dr. Ritu, on August 29, 2023. Our correspondent, Asunu from Kohima reports.
Tele-Manas marks a remarkable step towards a comprehensive mental health care network driven by technology, accessibles and empathy as it strives to reach individuals across Nagaland's diverse district. Through technology-driven mental health services, Tele-Manas also aim to minimize the stigma attached to those seeking mental health support. The initiative will facilitate early detection of mental health issues, enabling timely intervention and care. The initiative set up telecounseling center, equipping them with video conferencing capabilities to connect mental health professionals with individuals seeking support. Helpline services has also been provided for immediate assistance and emotional support. The toll-free 24/7 helpline number 14416 has been set up across the country, allowing callers to select the language of choice for availing services. Services is also accessible with 1800-914416. For Notice Diary, this is Asunyo from Akashvani News, Kohima.
Assam Rifles Training Center and School at Sukhumvit in Nagaland has won the Union Home Minister's Trophy for the best police training institution for soldiers. Every year, Ministry of Home Affairs conducts a national level screening and survey of various central police training institutes and adjudges the best training institute. We have Asunu from Kohima bringing us the details.
Assam Rifles Training Center and School Sukhumvit in Nagaland was awarded the Union Home Minister's Trophy 2021-22 for the best police training institute in the country. Brigadier Suresh Kumar Sourand received the award on the institution's 53rd Foundation Day held at the Bureau of Police Research and Development headquarters in New Delhi on 5th of September 2023. The occasion was graced by Home Secretary, Ministry of Home Affairs, Mr. Ajay Kumar Bhalla as the chief guest. This recognition comes after a national assessment by the Ministry of Home Affairs showcasing the institute's excellence in soldiers training under the leadership of Lieutenant General P.C. Nair. The Assam Rifle Training Center and School Sukhumvit is lauded for its comprehensive programs, dedicated faculty, innovations and modern facilities. The Union Home Minister's Trophy aims to promote excellence in the training and development of soldiers. The award not only recognizes the achievement of the institute but also has set higher standards for training institute all over the country for the training of soldiers. For Notice Diary, this is Asunyo from Akashvani News, Kohima.
The Khasi National Durbar, which had laid the seeds for the Hill State movement on Monday, celebrates its centenary. The Khasi National Durbar was formed during the 3 days meeting, which was held from September 4th to 6th in 1923. From 1923 to 1928, there were intense discussions held in the Khasi National Durbar that proved instrumental to the Hill State movement. The establishment of the KND was the first attempt to bring together all the Khasi states under one organization and to discuss and document important socio-cultural and political issues relevant to the people such as land rights, residency rights and rights to ancestral property, amongst other issues. Deputy Chief Minister Preston Tinsong had graced the centenary celebration, which was held at the Durbar Hall of the Khasi National Durbar at Mokhar on September 4th. While speaking on this occasion, Tinsong said that he has just read about the short public notice served by the Khasi Himas to every village for serious thinking and planning about the creation of the separate state for the tribal. He said that this ultimately led to the birth of the Khasi National Durbar on September 4th, 1923 to safeguard and protect the unique Khasi culture and identify. According to him, people had to work for weeks to attend this important meeting, which lasted for 3 days. On this occasion, Deputy Chief Minister also felicitated the oldest General Secretary of the organization, J.K. Taryang, and also releasing the centenary souvenir of the Khasi National Durbar. It may be mentioned that in 1917, the Montagu-Chelmsford Report, which proposed the development of self-governing institutions in India, saw the beginning of the political development in the Khasi Jaintia Hills. At this time, Meghalaya was a province under Assam, and people felt strongly about the creation of a separate hill state for the tribals. A few Khasi elders within the Khasi community noted the changes of the report as something fundamental. The report asked the people to gather their discussions on the importance of the report and what should be done about it. 54 representatives from various Himas and about 300 people from different parts of the Khasi and Jaintia Hills attended the Durbar Khasi National Durbar. Khasi National Durbar President Laboris Manik Siam said that the next 2 decades witnessed various political developments in the Khasi Hills as the educated Khasi gentry attempted to prepare a political roadmap for the future progress of the Khasi states. Siam said that the period witnessed 2 significant political developments in the Khasi Hills.
1920s comes in. Most of the aims, most of the elders of our people, I don't know by what sense they could sense that somehow very soon the British will have to leave. Somehow you could sense that very, very soon we will have back our independence. By that knowledge which they have, the instinct that they have, some of our people, our elders get together, they ponder about that question. Then they realize that we cannot become any more on a separate states. We must come unitedly under one umbrella with all the 25 Khasi states which is there. And when that things finally take shapes, then a big meeting was called. It is very interesting. People from all walks of life, from all over Khasi Hill and Jaiti Hills, walked to Shillong when a meeting was called. The agenda meeting is only one. Only this one have to bring under one umbrella. And it is very interesting that the meeting lasted for 3 days. But that meeting was called on that only the place of stay will be given, but no food. Bring your own food. Just think they did that, and for 3 days they sat. Before that, it's interesting, we met first at Yodo or something for 8 days, then the 3 days, especially for this, to come up with this Khasi National Darbar, they come in. For 3 days they pondered over this, and finally this Khasi National Darbar was born, where all the 25 Khasi states and all of the entire Khasi Hills comes under one umbrella. And therefore, on 23rd of September 1923, the Khasi National was born. It is a Khasi nation. That's why it's called Khasi National Darbar. And it will be interesting if you note, if you look at the first print which we have, no? We have not seen, I think. We will see all the peoples who had come over to the Darbar. They constitute the majority of the Darbar.
What was the number who attended and
300 elders in different walks of life comes in. That means not only the same, intellectual and Sardar and elders from different walks of life in the entire Khasi Hills.
From the day of formation in the past 100 years, can you recollect some of the unknown aspects of this? Starting from 1923 of the formation till the 100 years, can you tell us some of the unknown aspects of it?
1923, time rolls on that very note. The mind is set that where to go when suddenly the British left. So the starting is we should work under one umbrella. So it's not only the Himalayas aims and all, but altogether as one. So automatically as things roll by, this takes shape gradually. It's simmered down, but it takes shapes. But as time rolls by, then the Second World War sets in. By the time when the Second World sets in, during that time, the people from this area also participate in that through the different different stages in different capacity within the war effort of the British Allied forces. And you have seen the Matran, which is there, and you have seen very soon there'll come up some of these people who walk in the Riboy area. So I have seen to that. They'll erect some monument there. And from Shela, you got all those books before. They would love to talk about how they have been in Mesopotamia and everything. Mm-hmm. So things work out. Hey, as it rolls by, suddenly when World War comes in, then everything is focused on that line. But the moment the World War come to a stop, then at that time also India, the whole of India also rise up against the British for independence, So during that time, I remember this, I forgot, I'll send it to you. The quote of this one of the Union Minister when he come over to Mairang to the function of, when he held a function for Tirat Singh CM. I remember his quote. He said, before even Mahatma Gandhi was born, Tirat Singh has fought and the Khasi people has fought for independence. I will send you that quote. I've written that. So even from that line, you would have realized that 23 we are already there. Even before the thought of independence of Mahatma Gandhi, we have already fought against the British because we want our own independence, our freedom. So, but circumstances, history comes in, and then war comes in. But after the war, it was intensified. Finally, when India gained its independence. Even before 47, the meetings and deliberation of within Khasi National Bar, involving many members, only on one note: where do we go? What do we do if this happens? And this line of thought continues till the date when India gained its independence, 47. And that is the time when India gained its independence. The whole Khasi Hills, the whole Khasi state gained their independence back, because we are princely states. We are not Indian states. That is the moment which they dreaded more from 23. It comes in 1947, the moment India gained its independence. We gained an independence. And that is the time from 46 to 47, so especially 46 to 47. The deliberation was so much that the whole time it revolves on that line. The question of that time is that whether we should be as it is, to be as independent states, whether we should be with India, whether we should be with Pakistan. To the extent that some would have thought, even to the extent that even to be a protectorate. So the deliberation goes on that line. And that is why through this National Darbar, supporting the movement for the Federation of Khasi states, they have opted out to go to India. And by going to India, to go be with India, they wanted a full-fledged state of themselves, to be in the first schedule within the Constitution of India. So automatically, the Federation of State has asked for a Khasi states. So, but then, during that time, if you will see all these photos which is there, how they have consolidated themselves so that they can have a firm ground to enter in India. And then during that time, they have come up to the extent of they have their own flags, and then to the extent of having their own constitution. You will see one of the members of the Constitution Making Darbar, which is here. They already have members of the Constitution Making Darbar. When we talk about Constitution Making Darbar, when you heard today, now you heard so much in the Supreme Court about the Constituent Assembly of J&K. This would have been more than that, because you can see the members there, the Constitution Making Darbar for the Khasi state, which is already there. These are all constituted, and they have work on their line. But by 1947, then many big people from Delhi come to Shillong. They had a talk, they had this, that. And finally, with persuasion and force and tricks, I would say, I remember Token Rambai, when he tells me about that. He said, I was a bit sorry because I'm a government servant at that time. We have tricks on the same society organization. Finally, we joined up in India. And in 17 August 1948, we enter India by signing the instrument of accession. But the most important thing is the annex agreement. But the point to be noted here, they didn't sign the instrument of merger. They did sign merger. Now we come to the very, very crucial part here, that comes before the Constituent Assembly. The Khasi state, through the Khasi National Darbar, they have approached straight to the government of India on the first schedule to have our own states. But if you read that books which we have published yesterday, 1946 is a very, very crucial point if you look at it. Appears there, if you read it, a difference of opinion among the elders of that time, 1946. Yesterday I have stressed on the meeting yesterday, on the celebration yesterday, that by bringing up these documents, the Khasi National Bar stress one thing, but we don't bring these history to confuse the people, but it brings these facts, so that out of the thing which we have slipped in the past, we shall not slip anymore. We should learn from our mistake. We should fold a pointing finger and say, no more. We will not slip, will not happen again. So in 1946, difference of opinions broke up in
The contributions of the late founding leaders of the Khasi National Darbar should inspire the present generation to know about the history of the state. They had a vision to carve a unified political destiny for the Khasi and Jaintia Hills. This is Lamfrang Nongspung for Northeast Diary from AIR News Shillong.
News Services Division of Akashvani presents Northeast Diary.
we have a melodious song by the Tetsio Sisters of Nagaland. Tetsio Sisters are a quartet of sisters from the northeastern Indian state of Nagaland. They are devoted to the art and tradition of vocal folk music of Nagaland. Listen to a folk song entitled O Rushi.
Good evening to the listeners of Northeast Dairy. In this episode, we are joined by the CPRO of the NF Railway, Mr. Sabyasachi De. Mr. De, welcome to this episode of Northeast Dairy.
Thank you.
And would you please tell us what is the status of the work that is being carried out to connect all the capital stations or cities of Northeast by BG train?
See, the works in all the capital connectivity projects are going on in war footing. The Sivaprangpo project for connecting Sikkim, then the Dhansi Zubza project for connecting Nagaland, then this Bhairavi Sairang project and the Imphal connectivity project for Manipur. Bhairavi Sairang being for Mizoram. These works are going in war footing. If we talk about the status, the Sivok or the Rangpo Sikkim connectivity project is almost 60% complete. Mizoram project is almost 93% complete. Imphal project is around 50-60% completed. And the Nagaland project, a section of the Nagaland project has already been commissioned up to Sukhovi. And very glad to say that Sukhovi became the second station in the state of Nagaland after Dimapur, which is handling passengers. And that too after a gap of 102 years. So all these projects have targets of these projects are upcoming. The Mizoram and the Sikkim projects are about to be finished in the next year. Mizoram, Sikkim and the Manipur project. The Nagaland, since the work has started in the next two phases, we have a target of completing or touching Kohima by 2026. And this is the status of all the capital countries. Apart from that, the other states are already connected.
So by 2026, all the capital northeastern states will be connected by BG. This is what you are saying.
By 2026, all
northeast will be connected. Okay. So apart from capital connectivity, what are the other major projects that are being carried out in northeast, or you are going to start?
See, the major project, one of the major projects is that of the Amrit Bharat station scheme and the station redevelopment program. We have taken around 60 stations within Northeast which are being redeveloped with an investment of around 30, 40, 50 crores per station, depending upon the station and the amount of development we are doing. So what the main focus of developing these stations is these stations are now being developed as a city center. These will be developed with the idea of providing higher quality and grade of passenger amenity, not only passenger, customer amenity. When I say customer, it is our passenger train customer and the freight train customers also. We are looking into facilities for all our customers, and in that line, Dimapur station is getting a massive investment of around 230 crores. And similarly, in Guwahati, you will know that Guwahati will now be very soon will be getting the second entry to the railway station. Historically, the day Guwahati station was built, from that day itself, Guwahati had always one entry for the station, and that is from the Panbazar side. And now we have historic land swap deal with ASTC. The government of Assam played an important role here, and we have been handed over the ASTC bus stand land here in Guwahati, and at that end we are making the second entry. And with this in place, Guwahati will be developed as a world-class railway station in the future. Similarly, we are also planning to develop a mega coach maintenance facility here in New Guwahati, and it is an investment of around 200 crores, and that is a big investment for the city of Guwahati when it comes to railways. And apart from these station redevelopment programs, the next thing which we are doing is we are in the planning phase of making the second rail cum road Saraighat bridge. That will be a very important project for railway connectivity in the region. You see, you must be knowing that New Bongaigaon to Akthodi doubling is already going on. That work is in a very advanced stage, and in the future, to connect Akthodi and Kamakhya via the double line, we need a new bridge. And this moment this bridge comes, it will be a modern bridge with much more capacity as compared to the already existing bridge, and this will add to the line capacity within the region. These are one of the major projects from railways point of view that is going on in NF right now. And also in this year's budget, we have been allotted an additional sanction of 1,20,000 crores for connecting border and hill areas of Northeast.
This is very important.
This is very important. You see, such type of investment in Northeast has never been made, and that too for the border and hill areas. You see, most of our railway lines are in the plains, and we are now reaching into the hills. With this 1,20,000 crore investment, we will be having railway lines crisscrossing the border areas, the hilly terrains, so that the flung areas also get the main railway line connectivity with the rest of the India.
Right. And if we talk on railway journey, the first thing comes to our mind is the safety. So this is good that we have not witnessed any sort of mishap or others, that sort of things in the last couple of years in Northeast, which is itself is a success story for the NF Railway. Would you please tell, is there anything more than that, the measures that are being taken in Northeast region to double ensure the safety of the passengers?
By this financial year, the whole of Northeast will be electrified from railways point of view.
That's with this positive note. Thank you, Mr. De, for giving us your valuable time and inputs. Thank you again.
Thanks a lot.
With that, we come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Until then, goodbye.
This program was scripted and presented by Lucy G. Chattopadhyay, produced by Vinita Thakur with assistance from Kumar Gaurav. It was brought to you by the News Services Division of Akashvani.
ये आकाशवाणी है। अब आप दिव्या तोमर से समाचार सुनिए।